the C40. It's the Recharge, and it's Volvo's fully electric SUV. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. Now these start at around 47,000, ours is closer to 57,000, but that's not surprising when you look at the spec. For a start, ours is the ultimate, and that means you get lots of mod cons, bigger wheels, etc, etc. It pulls 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. It's got an electric motor on the front axle and one on the rear, so it can really put its foot down. Styling wise, well, it's a rather sporty looking SUV, but it's got, I suppose, it's car-like characteristics. Sleek looks, sloping roofline, essentially a coupe SUV, and in our colour scheme, two-tone black with white. Wow. Apart from that, it looks rather minimalist. I mean, for a start, they don't need a conventional grille. The thing about Volvo is, when they make an electric vehicle, it still retains their classic design language. They just build on it. Things like the sleek LED lights and the Thor's hammer. I've always loved that characteristic. Little fogs down here, lots of safety, AEB, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control with stop-go. The list is literally endless, but that's not surprising. Volvo have always been known for safety. I remember in my childhood, the 240 GL, boxy but good. I mean, for a start, it was built like a tank. But as I mentioned, they're electric vehicles. Well, they don't look too radical. Lovely curvature with the partial clamshell bonnet and the shaping around the arches. I mean, it's got the 20-inch wheels, but the cladding just give it an off-roady look. And look at the ground clearance. It means you can be a little adventurous. Just simple styling down the side, but it still gives it that two-tone look, especially with, say, the cladding and the black roof and this interesting line here. And that really balances the design. Power folding door mirrors, blind spot detection. There's also a symbol here that I assume is something to do with vehicles approaching. Keyless entry, and the door opens nice and wide. Luxurious materials. Interesting inserts. Fully electric seat with memory function and a Harman Kardon system. The thing about Volvo is, well, they're built very well. Getting in, absolutely no problem. And a grab handle, perfect. Oh, I do like this black roof lining. I can see we've got airbags and it's finished very nicely. Premium touches everywhere. You will find hard plastics, but they're of a very good quality. Decent feeling switchgear. I do like piano black. And just the general build, it just feels good. It's a comfortable driving position. I've got a lovely armrest here and like a letterbox style storage point. 2 cup holders. This shifter's an interesting one. It's pretty damn cool, that. Decent infotainment screen, and if you've noticed, it's portrait, and the way the vents run down the side of it looks rather elegant. Lots of functionality, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and navigation, and that also displays in your cluster. We've got something called Range Assistant, so it gives you your estimated range dependent on how you're driving, your usage based on speed, driving style, and other functionality in the vehicle that's going to, well, adversely affect your range. You can see your consumption here, 24 kilowatt hour per 100 mile. This is nice and easy to read. You can see your battery level, you can see when you're regenning, putting power down, etc, etc. You can also tweak the settings. It's nice to see that Volvo haven't done away with all the buttons either. So you've got your rotary here, which is your volume, and you've got some shortcut buttons too. Now when it comes to your climate control, well, you do operate that through the screen, but it's nice and simple. And going back to your home screen, you've got things like Spotify. So there's a range of apps. Everything's got a good feel to it. I suppose compared to previous Volvos, it's just packaged a little differently. More for, say, an EV market. But it's nice and easy to drive. What would be interesting is to see how it copes on, say, a long journey. When we had the Q4 e-tron, there was no way I thought it would get all the way to Goodwood on one charge, and it did. So it'd be interesting to see how the Volvo fared on that kind of journey. But it's comfortable, it's easy to adjust everything, decent legroom, decent headroom, well-trimmed seats, and they're very supportive. Got a 12 volt down here, some USBs, and a wireless charger. Everything's just, well, it's what you expect from a Volvo. They've certainly gone for sports coupe design with this. I mean, just look at that sloping roofline and this aggressive rear spoiler. Now, the one thing that has, well, it's not been a concern per se, but I've thought about it, is whether that will restrict headroom in the rear. Let's find out. Well, the door opens nice and wide. My word. It's interesting to see this is hard. I expected this to be soft and recessed. But no matter, I can get my feet under the seats and I've got decent legroom. Door card, nice and simple. Quite dark, but it's lit up nicely with this. And this is soft touch. And a lovely padded armrest with decent cup holder. Adjustable seat belts. A massive panoramic that lets lots of light in. It's spacious and airy in the rear, even with the privacy glass. Not something I really expected, especially with slimmed down windows. Oh my word, I forgot to do the clunk in the front. Well, let's try the rear. Ooh, solid. Very nice. Not surprising with the build quality that we used to from Volvo. Everything feels... it's good to the touch. I'm especially fond of this stitching here and the fact that it reaches into the rear. Headroom, well, it's far better than I expected. Anything with a sloping roofline usually restricts the back, especially when you have a panoramic. But my hair just brushes, which is saying something for 6'3". Not bad at all. Pull down armrest, comfortable seats, very supportive and finished in premium materials. Now it may have 3 seat belts, but you can see it's really designated for 2. It's a rather executive experience. You get heated seats in the front as you'd expect, but to have 3-stage heated seats in the rear as well, that's rather nice. 12 volt here and some vents, and I do like this. That makes me think this platform maybe had ICE vehicles on, but it doesn't really eat into space. One lovely touch is the storage pot down here, and it's on both sides. The charge flap is located here. You just press and it'll pop open. Type 2, rapid and home charge. You get to 80% on a rapid charger in around 40 minutes. I'll put the rest of the specs on the screen. Once again, minimalist styling, but I do love this rear flow, especially the way it goes into the lenses. The fully LED, and this makes it far safer too. Lots of cameras and sensors all over this vehicle. We've also got a 360 and it's high resolution. Parking sensors throughout, cross traffic alert, and the list goes on. To manoeuvre this and park it is child's play. I am especially fond of this rear spoiler. Lovely. Let's take a look in the boot. Power tailgate, operated with a key or a button on the dash. Decent size, and if you look under here, decent storage point. You've got a ski hatch, so you can get your planks of wood, skis, you name it. No boot lip, decent storage point, and tethering points throughout. Strong floor, and that's surprising. I did wonder if maybe the parcel shelf would have, say, a couple of positions, but no, it's just one. Because it would have been nice to recline the seats. Nice and easy to remove the parcel shelf. Just simply unhook a little bit of string. It's really good to see manufacturers when they don't overcomplicate something. Honda's been doing this for years. To drop the seats, pull this. Very simple. Well, Volvo have done it again. Just look at that loading area. For a start, it's virtually flat. No gaps, and even the headrests fold down. It's a rather quiet tailgate too. Pop the bonnet, like so. Ooh, even beeps. There's a little lever here. Shut. And it's on struts. Well, yeah, you can't see very much. Makes me wonder if this is a storage point. The charging cables, so in this, are stowed in the front. It's strange not seeing a vehicle with an abundance of orange, but you can see where to top up your wiper fluid. There's some rather smart reversing lights. Certainly chock full of convenience and safety. Mind you, as I mentioned, we know what Volvo, well, were renowned for. Ah, this is a horrendous junction. Okay. By that look, you probably realise we pulled 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. 660 newton meters of torque and around 400 brake horsepower. And you can feel it, and because it's an electric car, it puts it down pretty much instantly. Rather refined drive. You can hear a bit of tyre noise, but I'm not surprised on the roads around here. If I put the window up though, it scrubs quite a bit out. No wind noise. It's relaxing, isn't it? Apologies, Annabelle's lost her voice once again. So if I start gibbering and jabbering, it's because I'm talking to Annabelle and then completely forgotten she can't talk. No, it's very well set up, this. Considering its ride height, it handles exceptionally well and it's very agile. But that's the thing about electric vehicles, because they're so damn heavy, they corner for England and they stay remarkably composed, even when going for rather spirited driving. Acceleration, lightning. Brakes, lightning. Oh, went straight back into the charge bar too. Regen, I'm going to have to read up on it. It will have varying levels, but because we've had the car like 20 minutes, I'll put that on the screen. Comfortable, pliable suspension. It holds the vehicle well, but at the same time gives the driver and passengers a rather comfortable experience. I love the way that I've got full navigation in my cluster too. Considering its height, yeah, it can corner for England. A little bit of body roll. It's an SUV, comes with the territory. Nice weighty steering, great feedback, and lovely and direct. Now you could have some fun with this on a back road at speed, I tell you. Interesting regen system too. Because there's nothing in front of us, it's letting us coast so we can regen at will. It'll be interesting to see what it does when it detects its vehicle. Okay, so it doesn't have a detection system like that. No, it's very well poised. Thing is, it's not too big either, so it's perfect for country lanes. Nice and easy to manoeuvre. Dual zone air conditioning here. Well, you can get out of junctions pretty quickly, not surprising. Electric powertrain. That's a major appeal about one of these. The lightning acceleration, especially with 660 Newton meters. Fair bit of torque that. So, let's see how long it takes us to get to 40 from 30. Annabelle, are you ready?
Yes.
40! Hills, well, electric car once again, so flies up them. Everything's nice and straightforward. Easy to change your cluster layout. Nice clunky, decent quality buttons. And it's nice to see physicality in here too, rotaries, etc. But Volvo know their market. So in a second, this is a 60 limit now, so we'll do a 40 miles an hour to 60 acceleration. I'm just waiting for the Tesla to pull away a little. 60. As Annabelle just said then, it's rapid. Boxy but good. No, that's the thing about the C40. It encompasses what Volvo stand for, but it's also got that new advanced technologies too. So you get lots of safety, practicality, decent ride height. It's just well set up, decent drive. You can just literally jump in one and off you go. And the price, well, it's in line with other vehicles like this, to be honest. 46 grand, closer to 60 with options. Seems perfectly fine to me.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time.